Am I the a-hole for declaring to a foodie that my favorite food is raw celery, causing him make a scene? So I was at dinner the other night with 5 coworkers, and every time we got an interesting chat going, this one guy, who declared himself the office foodie, would interrupt to denounce or praise some of the food in eloquent terminology, or by asking us detailed question after question about our own favorite food experiences. Like to this one fellow, he was like, tell me about your favorite food experience, and he talked about going to this steak place in Florence, to which foodie guy made a TSK noise and said overrated a touch, then asked the poor guy like 10 questions about this meal. He kept doing this. Now he's an alright guy, I guess, but come on. So finally he interrupted again, a nice chat we were having about that Dune show on the HBO, and he asks me my favorite food experience. And I decided to mess with him a bit. I told him I don't have a favorite singular experience, but that my favorite food in all the world is plain raw celery, and every time I eat it, which is every day, is a tie for the best experience. He looked like the operating system in his brain had the spinny wheel, and he just locked up for a few seconds, then he did a fake laugh, and was like, no, but seriously? Well, I'll have you know, I took an acting class for 1 semester in college 20 years ago. So I dusted off the old skills and I acted the hell out of being a guy whose favorite food is celery. I went on and on about how the flavor of plain raw celery is the purest flavor there is, the platonic ideal of crispiness, the notes of green, hints of water. I went on about it. He started to get annoyed and kept grilling me, listing food after food and saying if I really liked raw celery better, and I committed to the bit. I said in my old job they called me Mr. Celery. Finally he said, this is outrageous, and he slammed his fist on the table. Then it was quiet. Then he had a face expression where I could tell he was kind of thinking, well shit, that was an overreaction, but instead of saying it he just kind of went and then he got up and left. Now everyone is saying I took it too far, and then I don't know why, but I also pretended to the rest of them that I wasn't doing a bit, and now I am kind of in a situation where for the rest of the time I work here I'm going to have to pretend that celery is my favorite food. I didn't mean to make him so upset or irritate my colleagues, and I guess I should apologize, but am I the a-hole? Story 2. Am I the a-hole for not wanting to invite our friends anymore because they never contribute? For years, we've celebrated New Year's Eve and August 1st, Swiss National Day, as a group of 4, my husband and I along with a couple we're close friends with. We've always wanted to celebrate together, and since we have more space, it often ends up being at our place. That's totally fine with us and we enjoy hosting. However, over the years, I've started to notice a pattern. While we prepare everything, food, wine, appetizers, dessert, they never bring anything to share. They don't even suggest contributing. The only exception is when they occasionally bring 2 beers for themselves, but that's it. This past New Year's, I thought we'd try something different. When we were discussing plans, I casually suggested that everyone could bring something this time, just to make things easier for all of us. A few days later, the friend sent me a photo on WhatsApp of a frozen pizza from Lidl, a discount supermarket, and asked if that would be, quote, a good idea for the dinner. I thought it was a nice gesture that they wanted to contribute, so I happily replied, yes, that's a great idea, thank you. I'll make dessert. But when they showed up for New Year's, they came empty-handed, no pizza, no snacks, nothing. It turns out he had only taken a picture of the pizza in the store and didn't actually buy it. It felt like they were expecting me to go and get it myself, for everyone of course. I don't want to make a big deal out of this, but it's starting to feel frustrating. I told my husband that I don't really feel like hosting them anymore, because it always feels so one-sided. He thinks I'm being unfair, but I feel like if we're all agreeing to celebrate together, it shouldn't be unreasonable to expect a little effort or for them to bring something to share. Am I the a-hole for feeling this way, not wanting to invite them anymore?